Welcome to A Date with Design. I'm Arielle Ralph.
And I'm Jill Chilton. We're two interior designers and longtime friends who are obsessed with all things design, hospitality and creative living.
A Date with Design is your go-to check-in for interiors, inspiration and the unfiltered reality of life as designers.
Whether you're a designer, a foodie, or just love a good vibe, pull up a chair and settle in. This episode is called Eat, Pray, Prompt. Think culinary crawl meets creative awakening.
Exactly. And if you've seen the movie, you know that she loves food, so
yes,
it also resonates on that frequency.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about our recent time, our design dates in Melbourne, from grand dining rooms to, sticky floored dive bars. And then what are we doing?
We're getting a bit techie, Jill, this time.
Yeah.
We're bringing AI into the conversation.
Okay. As always, we're going to start our episode with our little ritual that we like to do by sharing a nice cocktail. And Ari's going to be serving one up this time.
So I thought the classic Aperol Spritz. It's really tasty, easy to make, and just 3 ingredients plus ice. So we've got these beautiful big glasses. Thanks for bringing those up today.
Love a big glass.
Yeah, and so it's Aperol Spritz, some nice Prosecco and some soda water. Wish me luck creating this cocktail in this gigantic jacket.
I should, while you're doing that, I'll tell everyone why we're wearing these ridiculous jackets. But pretty much when we were down in Melbourne, we spent some time in Fitzroy and we went to this amazing flea market there, and we just found these cool jackets. And yes, we're in Queensland and they're outrageous for this climate, but they were so cool. We just couldn't resist making the purchase. And it just means that we need to spend more trips going to cooler climates, doesn't it? More trips to Melbourne, New Zealand, maybe the Swiss Alps. I'm sure we could pull these off.
They're rocking like the kind of gangster wives right now.
Anticipation. We do have the aircon in here set to Arctic conditions just so we can wear these jackets. I don't know how long they'll last in the episode. And I guess, while Ari's making this beautiful drink for us, we can kind of talk about like what were some of our favourite moments for our little girls' weekend down in Melbourne. Like for me, I did love our shopping day
that was
in
fun.
Fitzroy. Yeah. Just checking out all the mid-century stores, the flea markets.
Yeah.
We went to Naked for Satan.
Oh, shoot.
Woo!
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, there were heaps. It was a really fun day because I think we had the first 2 days were a little bit more design-driven, work-driven.
Business.
But business is fun, but we were sort of like, okay, now it's time to just not think about work and meander through the streets of Melbourne.
Yeah. And what were some of your favourite moments while we were down there?
Like you. I mean, there was this really cool vintage market that was on at the Rose Markets, I think it's called.
Yep.
And they just had racks and racks and racks of racks of beautiful, quirky clothes and actually the lady. So first you found this jacket first because we were sort of like, let's go find something that's like really a bit random. And I feel like that's something when we go on our trips now.
Yep.
I said, okay, from now on we've got to both buy something absolutely outlandish and ridiculous.
Every time we go away.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like
a challenge.
You end up with like an adult
it ends up in
of just
a collection of
play dress-ups.
Yeah.
Which we like to do.
I love that. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully it tastes nice.
Cheers.
Cheers. Goes with our tablecloth.
Colour coordinating all the way. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that is
refreshing.
Nice.
It was that or an espresso martini, but I think we'll do that next time.
Yeah. But I think what I love about Melbourne is you can have so many different experiences all within a short amount of time. It's really got everything. Like it is really the mecca for, hospitality design, and just there is something for everyone. And while we were down there, we went to so many different, inspiring spaces, didn't we?
We did. And I know we already did an episode while we were down there about all the hotels that we toured. And that was probably, I think, day one was the hotel tours. And that was a really great way to sort of set the tone. And then we did our little, we'll talk about this later, but we did the crawl along Church Street and had a look at all of the supplier showrooms.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting. And I had a really good chat to Todd from Living Edge.
Yeah,
which we'll share that soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a really interesting location. It's sort of multicultural. It's got its own vibe.
Yeah.
The river's beautiful. But I have to say that, hanging out in Fitzroy that day, that was my favourite.
Yeah.
And just kind of going along the road and checking out all these little quirky homeware stores. And we bought our friend, it was her birthday, and we both found these beautiful kind of mid-century Scandinavian timber candlesticks.
Yep.
We've got a little collection of those, and that was nice.
Yeah, yeah.
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 What about you? What was your sort of highlight?
Well, yeah, I did love that day. But then I also, loved our experience on the Saturday night. I think we went to like 4 different venues in the one night, but it was great because they were all within walking distance in the CBD. So I think, on the Friday we had a beautiful dinner at Beverly Rooftop. That's in Cremorne. And that was designed by Mitchell and Eads. And I love that space. It had such a beautiful, relaxed, edgy but cool LA rooftop vibe.
Because when we went, the roof was closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the weather wasn't great. But
a friend that we went to dinner with, he was like, oh, actually, they can completely open this roof up. It's a whole different vibe.
Yep.
But that was nice. And remember at dinner that he brought out the big cheese wheel?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It was like,
yeah.
That was delicious.
Oh, everything we ate there was amazing, actually. Yeah. But I loved their, the fabrics that they selected for all of the beautiful upholstered chairs, the rendered walls with the painted murals, like just the colour scheme in these beautiful warm tones with a touch of like green in there as well. It was, it had a bit of a botanical feel.
It did actually.
The day that we went there was quite cloudy and overcast. It was winter, so the roof was closed, but I can just imagine we'll have to go back there, summertime, and experience the real rooftop experience. Yeah.
Yes, and then Rhiannon Lee, someone recommended that to us. So we thought, okay, we've got to check in. But it was fully booked, wasn't it?
Yes, we didn't get in that time, but we did have a cocktail, some pre-dinner cocktails at LaRue, which is the cocktail bar at the back. But, to get there you have to walk through the amazing cathedral-like restaurant dining space, which is, it's absolutely stunning. And that design was done by Akin Atelier. And it's, they blended the historic bones of that building with really, beautiful luxe finishes, marble. But I think they, really paid tribute to what was already there. You didn't have to touch it much.
And didn't someone say it's been just untouched for 50 years?
I think it was closed for a really long time. Yeah.
It was. Did you remember the floor too? The flooring was really interesting. It was almost like glass or illuminated.
So I think we've got a few buildings in Brisbane that have that same sort of, they're like glass bricks in the floor, and that's And
they'd lit them up though, so you'd walk over it, and it almost felt like otherworldly. You're walking down the centre of the cathedral.
The catwalk.
The catwalk. That's right.
Yep. But the cocktail bar at the back is completely opposite. It's dark, it's moody, lots of black finishes, really cool, really sort of contemporary, minimal sort of style. And the service there was fantastic.
It was.
Yeah, the lady that served us I think I had martini.
Yeah, you did.
And she was really great.
What did I have? It was like a old fashioned but with banana or something. Banana.
That was really tasty.
That
was
delicious.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was like Japanese ice or something like that.
Yeah, we didn't know if she was making fun of us because we probably wouldn't know, but they imported the ice from Japan for that cocktail.
Or it's the water and then they just freeze it here.
I don't know.
I have no idea. We still need to figure that one out.
Yeah.
It was a conversational topic at the time.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had a really nice little meander to Longrain.
Yeah,
That's what we
yeah.
had dinner. That was
It's like a
really
Melbourne
tasty.
institution, Longrain, beautiful Thai-inspired dishes. So I think that was originally designed by Hecate Guthrie, and that's got a really sort of high-energy dining space with long communal tables. I think it's also in an old sort of heritage building as well. Yeah. What I loved about that was, so they have the cocktail bar that's upstairs, and I love the fact that we could book a pre-drink half an hour before our dinner booking in the cocktail lounge upstairs, which was really great. So that, okay, that's locked in. We've got our seats reserved for a pre-dinner cocktail, and then half an hour later we know our table's going to be ready. I thought that was a really cool idea, because I haven't really seen that happen too much in Brisbane yet. So when you've got, multiple spaces in a venue, I thought that was a really sort of clever idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did notice the like with the fit out and everything like that, they had different options for seating, like stools. It was a bit more casual. And then I was looking up, because it's really high ceilings, all the insulation, like the silver insulation was just, that's it.
Yep.
It was there.
Yep.
But it was kind of lit like green and sort of had suspended pendants. So it didn't feel kind of cheap or anything.
No.
It just felt sort of like honest. Like this is what we are. We're in a kind of like a warehousey,
industrial vibe
feel. And it just really went well, didn't it?
Yeah. No, I loved it. And then, so as the night went on, we wanted to check out some livelier venues. We went to a dive bar called Heartbreaker, where it's got like a real cool rock and roll vibe, bright neon signs. I think, it was packed when we went in there.
Packed,
like you had to, really sort of squish through to find a spot.
Yeah. It was really like the alternative grungy scene in Melbourne, which was so good to see, because I guess I was worried that may not exist. I don't know, like the music scene down there is pretty massive, but you don't know sometimes where to go.
Yep.
Like we went to Cherry Bar, but that wasn't really happening, whereas like a few years ago that was the place.
Yep.
So maybe it was just a bad night, I'm not sure. But Heartbreaker definitely brought it that night, and they had like a DJ.
Yeah.
I remember over the bar they had all these suspended globes, and they were just all like probably about 20 of them just like hanging down, swinging around crazy.
Yes.
And just the whole vibe was a bit chaotic.
It was,
90s grunge and rock and stuff.
But I loved it, And the soundtrack was awesome. And they even had like food options if that's what you felt like. I think they do like pizza and those kind of like, old school snacks. But
there was a guy at the front shredding on electric guitar.
Oh, one of the
him?
buskers. Yeah.
At the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely had a vibe, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then our final little, I guess, highlight when it comes to eat, pray, prompt highlights of Melbourne was the ramen place in Fitzroy.
Yeah.
Which was the last dinner that we had, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And we were just in the mood where we just wanted like pure comfort. It was sort of a rainy night, cold, Melbourne winter's night, and we were like, we just wanted something to warm our bellies, and we we found this amazing ramen place in Fitzroy, and it was.
It just feels like it's so nourishing and so healthy and good for you. We're both sitting there going, sometimes you go to a restaurant and it's like quite expensive and you're not really satisfied. This was like, well priced, but and it was like the ambience.
It was very like
relaxed.
Just a very simple setup, like no frills. Again, it was sort of like a warehouse vibe, but I think they kind of paired that nicely with some like light timber plywood, but they were keeping it so simple with just the focus on the food. And it was, amazing.
It was like everyone sat around on a little island in
Yeah, just on little cheap stools.
Slurping their ramen.
Cool.
So, and I guess, when you do travel, you want to try different things and see new places. And so we hope that we can inspire you if you're deciding to go to Melbourne. We'll share some of our little highlights in the notes.
Yep.
And links to our favourite places. But what the other part of our chat today, which I'm really excited to share, as I mentioned before, is the AI conversation. So as a designer, you can sort of think, oh, how's AI going to affect our industry? And well, it is going to affect the industry, but I think we really need to embrace it, and we have to be
focus
ahead
on
of the
how
game.
it's going to actually help us, not hinder us.
Yeah.
Well, Ari, let's put on our headphones and we'll cut to our interview with Rhiannon Lee from Oleander and Finch Interiors. So Rhiannon is the founder and principal designer at Oleander and Finch Interiors, which is an Australian studio. It celebrates refined, timeless aesthetic that's rooted in natural materials and neutral palettes. Her career spans interior and product strategy with a focus on helping creatives leverage technology, including AI, without compromising artistry. As an industry mentor and podcast host, Rhiannon shares her studio experience and tech-forward practice to inspire and empower designers looking to scale smartly while maintaining design integrity.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Yeah.
Rhiannon, thanks so much for taking the time to sit with us today. We just attended your AI chat, and I thought it was a really valuable talk and something that's changing the industry, specifically interior design. Could you just start with a bit of a background on yourself as a designer and how you've discovered AI over the last couple of years?
Kind of feel like AI discovered me. So my dad is a web developer, and he obviously came across it a lot before any sort of designers or creatives are probably using it. And he suggested to me that I should buy a application called Jasper. I spent, I think, $60 a month on that subscription without, don't tell my money coach, but I wasn't checking my subscriptions properly, and I was never opening the app ever because it wasn't mainstream. Nobody was using AI. So I used it a little bit. It helped me write some blogs, some keyword, rich blogs, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Definitely wasn't worth what I was spending on it. But the second that ChatGPT came into market, I knew what Jasper's limitations were and what it was kind of starting to provide. Once I saw they'd put so much tech money into changing that and to kind of dropping that in next level in an amazing way, I was such an early adopter. You did not have to hold me back. I was like, right, I'm in. What do we do? Signed up for the paid one on day one, was like, okay, what can it do? Started researching, just got in there right from the get-go, and always under the umbrella of with all of my prompts and all of my questioning and all of my learning was and how does it apply to the interior design industry? So it was specifically learning in that laneway as well.
Mm-hmm. So if AI was your new design intern, what would its standout superpower be? And, what would your go-to tips be for getting the most out of that intern?
Context, definitely. Everything with AI is context. So just like if you are hiring a actual intern, you want to have an operations manual, you want to have standard procedures, you want to give it confidence that it can fulfill the role that you're asking it to play. So you actually do want to have full direction. There are a few things I would not let it anywhere near, and that's certainly around my, the creative process and being the creative director of what I do as a designer. I don't go to AI with a blank room and say, what are 6 suggestions that you could make for this room? I take my final design and we amplify. So I'm using it to support my creativity, but not replace my creativity. So I actually don't go anywhere near AI in the beginning in terms of even concepts and so on. I'm building that out, and then I'm getting it to visually articulate what I've already thought of. I need to stretch that muscle, and I need to be very clear. There's no space for me to sit and be lazy and let AI design for me. I'm very, very strong on that. So if that was my intern, I would definitely be like, okay, you're in charge of all the boring stuff, the admin, the things that are not my zone of genius. I did not sign up to be a social media guru, so go nuts on the captions, but I'm over here designing for my client.
Because where we're coming from is we don't want to streamline the soul out of design.
100%.
And it's probably something that as a designer you get a bit nervous about, how's this technology going to take away from what we're doing? Is it going to take away the value of what we're offering to people? But I think that education, even to clients around, actually, if they do know that we are, taking notes, transcribing it through various programs.
So's your doctor.
Yeah.
So's dentist. So's everybody in less than 6 months. And I think, being able to draw a line in the middle of the page and look at what is a soulful task and what is a soulless task, what is a soul-sucking task, and then get your AI to do everything that's sucking your will to live, and you get more time to stay in the left-hand column and actually design and do all the things that you love to do. Like if AI is taking over so much more of your admin, you can recover an entire day for showroom visits and building those relationships and building those trade relationships and the things that you're actually telling people is your value.
Can you share your top 3 AI platforms or way to use AI as an interior designer?
Top 3 platforms. I'm immediately flooded with all the things that I don't like to use AI for, or the platforms I don't like to use. What I would say, and I did say this in today's talk, is that there's not really any point being a jack of all trades and a master of none. I honestly believe my advice is pick a lane, pick a particular tool, and when I'm talking specifically to the large language model, but stay in that lane. Go with Anthropic Claude, go with Gemini, go with ChatGPT, and don't go elsewhere, and lean right into that. In terms of everything else, I mean, you can get so overwhelmed. Every second post on Instagram these days is master Mid-Journey and do this, and Pro AI is over there. Like, we could just talk about the tools forever, but it's actually like you don't need more than one. So all you need to do is pick the one that you're wanting to invest in, pay for the paid subscription of that tool, and get busy learning it. Like, get busy really leaning in and seeing how it can work for you, and try to switch off that background noise, because AI, we're in a technology revolution and it is rapidly expanding, and every single day there's going to be some shiny new object. And what do entrepreneurs love the most, or creatives? We love shiny objects, right? So if you're running a business, my super advice is it's not even top 3 tools. It's like pick a particular tool and get to know it, and you'll see all the different functionality and different ways that it can support you from there.
Mm-hmm. So is there a time as a designer that you overcame a tricky situation using AI?
I think I talked about that today too,
Yeah,
in terms of the Venetian plaster render range hood of a recent project. It was just because it was so fresh to me, and I was standing on site. We had Darren the builder and we had Paul the cabinetry maker, and they were both trying to convince my client to just do upper cabinets and an undermount range hood because it's easier for them. The drawings, it's easier. They didn't actually know what a curved Venetian plaster range hood was, so they were both like, don't worry about it, just have more cupboards, that's easy. Like squares, we work in squares, we're cabinet makers. But I was like really advocating hard for the range hood, because I knew when you open the front door, that's your like hero moment, and we're going to do all this stuff, and it's artisan piece and textural. So I grabbed my phone, pulled it out, jumped onto ChatGPT, uploaded an image of the cabinetry as it was, and then gave ChatGPT the prompt that I wanted to see that in photorealistic render. So I was like, I want an oatmeal Venetian plaster curved range hood taking up X amount of width. Like, I gave it the measurements. I want Caesar stone sleet bench tops, Neptune grey appliances, all the actual things from the finishes fixtures schedule, and the exact tile. Uploaded it all, and it gave me a really strong photorealistic render. You saw on the images today, it looks exactly the same as what we have in real life. And I got yeses from everybody, including the builder finally went, oh, I've seen those, or, oh, I know that, but they weren't hearing me. And we see that so much on site with trades. It's not that they're trying to be obtuse, or they're not trying to be vague. They're just kind of like, I'm not sure I get it. And we're getting so much quick yeses. So for me, that's everything. Just photographing waterproofed bathrooms and laying tiles without trades, like saying, show it to me this way, show it to me that way, replace the grout, show it to me in this colour. I just think that's everything.
It's quite a dynamic design tool, I think, when you look at it like that. And you were saying before that clients sometimes can't visualise it, and maybe we take that for granted. You can step in a room, you can see something. I really love the idea. Do you have a tablet with a pen that you mark up on?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do have the iPad Pro. Shout out to Apple. But which again, mostly for the 15-inch screen or whatever. It's so that I'm not just going, everyone get around my mobile phone and I have that kind of larger look, and it has more impact.
I think too, it's almost like the client would like to see you with the pen colouring over or highlighting parts of this. It's almost like when you're sketching in front of a client, it's got that little bit of excitement around. It's happening in real time.
Yes, they're watching you prompt, and also, it's just so good. And you can just excuse yourself as you're walking to the car, that microphone button at the bottom of ChatGPT, and just be like, I'm just about to go back in on site, I want this, I want that, I want this, and you can verbally say it and basically place your order, and then it can be doing that for you.
That's fantastic. One of the highlights from your talk just now was actually your openness and transparency around creating a virtual boardroom. And I think that's a game changer, especially for someone like myself, you know, having your own business. Can you sort of share how you created the virtual boardroom and sort of, I guess, some tips and tricks if other people wanted to do something similar for their own?
Yeah, the virtual boardroom, I think I was saying, is sort of born from the idea of my actual boardroom way back in my corporate years. And I was like thinking about how much I miss having that support. You know, I miss someone whose job role was sales director, and I miss someone whose job role was the chief financial officer, and everyone had their different skill and expertise. And when I work for myself, I've been in business 7 years and it's just me, I'm like, God, I wish someone else would do the P&L, or gosh, I wish someone else would take control of this like area of my business that I'm struggling if I'm busy with client work. And so it was sort of born of that, and it's about building out these custom GPTs. Anyone can build them. The biggest challenge is what makes them is the years of experience, the IP, the sort of frameworks, the methodologies, and the things that are in there, the coding and the back-end instructions. So I can teach you how to make one right now, but whether or not it's going to be like the best one, and I think that's been really helpful, having over 18 months worth of experience trying them, testing them, selling them, working with them, giving them feedback, changing them. So I change them all the time. I have one named Otis who does Instagram captions, and I think I mentioned Instagram have really changed their algorithm once again, and they're looking at a lot more SEO and keywords. Well, that wasn't initially scoped in Otis in the back end, so I've had to go in and say, hey, we've had an algorithm shift. I want to make sure every caption you're giving every designer who's asking is packed with keywords, whether they know it or not. They don't have to tell you, you tell them. So it's keeping on top of all of that. So I think it's really just comes down to, you can buy them, you can build them, just be really confident in your, business and marketing skills if you're building a business and marketing tool. So sometimes it can be good to get a secondary or third party one that can objectively ask you questions and maybe level you up in underdeveloped areas as well.
Okay. And when creating them, do you do that inside ChatGPT?
Yes. It's a little bit fiddly, but I mean, you can learn to make them. It's just knowing what goes in their instructions, because it's like a lot of information. So and each one is individual to the creator. I feel like the creator, I made all these humans, but you know, it's quite difficult to explain in a quick podcast. Most designers don't want to have a bar with being software developers. So it's like, it's not that it's secret, it's just that like, who's taking the time to go, it's taken me years to learn it, to iterate, to get it right, to keep working, to go, oh, you're not right, and then to you know, for want of a better description, for ripping out your hair because it's not working and you don't know why, because you're not a tech nerd, you're kind of a designer trying to be a tech nerd. So I feel like I've put in all of that time, and I think that that's not time that other designers are going to, I really think in this industry, they're like, oh, I'll just buy yours.
Well, I think that's the other thing.
Go ahead and do that.
I think that's good to know, because it's when you don't know what the product is exactly, and you sort of say, oh, you know, you can create one, or it does feel a bit overwhelming knowing what direction to take.
We all have to, every quarter or whatever, we should be going that next bit deeper in your brand tone and voice. And, you know, branding is everything. It's really important, and it's it's not the first thing on our list, because we're designers before we're marketers.
I thought it was interesting using ChatGPT to generate those concept images, because I know you were saying you're veering away from perhaps mid-journey and streamlining it all through ChatGPT, which does make a lot of sense to kind of hone in. We had dinner last night with a friend, and he sort of mentioned that there is a bit of feedback in the industry that designers who sort of recirculate those standard Pinterest images in their concept packages, it's starting to reappear when lots of different design firms are using the same imagery. So it sort of takes away from, I guess, the uniqueness. So where I see what you were presenting before about, you know, you using prompting, putting in your mood boards.
It is a creation of your own every single time. It is definitely not something that you, and also that's still an IP, like it's gross. You know, I get it for concepts, and I do get it when we're just privately sharing it with a homeowner. No judgment, no shade being thrown, but you know, when it maybe pops up in your Insta stories and then it accidentally falls over into your feed, it becomes really tricky, because the photographer probably owns that image, not even the designer, and it's all, stuff that I think we may not even be aware. But when you're creating something that doesn't exist in the world, that exists in your head, you're only visually articulating as far as you can dream or imagine as a designer, and then everybody wins. It's only for concept, and it means that the homeowner can quickly look at it and go, oh wow, that's what you're thinking for this. I love it.
I know that even there's been times where I've tried to find like a really nice photo of like, light on the water or something like that, and it can be hard to find, and you want something original that's not the same textural.
Why am I searching on Pinterest for billowing shears? Like, I'm just like, why can't I type into ChatGPT, show me billowing shears in the golden sunlight, and then like have it in 10 seconds
and
later.
that no one else has got that actual image.
Exactly.
So
it's just being created from your brain.
How do you see AI affecting the industry in interior design in the next 5 years, given that, how fast things are moving?
So fast. But I do have some hot predictions, and I think my biggest one I did talk about today as well is just around how I really feel that human-centric design, like having an actual designer come into the home, is absolutely going to be the new flex. I think homeowners are going to get bored really quickly with what they can do because they're limited by their own creativity, and they're not designers. They don't have that background of open possibilities, and they're not actually prompting chat in the right way. So they've got to get very rinse and repeat ChatGPT type designs, and they'll come back. I don't think anyone that was truly meant for us will pass us by, and I think people will actually value us more because everything is connection, community, and humanization going forward, because we are going to dilute humanity with robots. So I really think that everyone's like, isn't it better to have a trade team and have a designer and have all this amazing humans bring it to life?
I liked on one of your podcasts you were saying there'll be two camps. There'll be people either embracing it and using it, or there'll be the other side that's more about sort of the fast, quick, almost DIY. Can you expand a bit more on that for us?
Well, I guess the people that are going to DIY now are going to DIY then, and I just don't really see them as a threat. Like, I think if we're at the crux of what we do really is someone who values good design, who values design as an industry, and who's looking for uniqueness. He's looking like they connect with you because of your curation, your unique eye. You never have someone reach out to you that's like, I've been following, I've jumped on your website, and they're generally like, I specifically connected to your aesthetic. I specifically want to know what it looks like to work with you and have you apply that aesthetic to my home.
That was great.
Yeah,
it's such a hot topic at the moment, but I think as a designer I feel a bit more inspired after talking to Rhiannon and seeing the ways that you can incorporate it as a design tool.
Yeah.
But, what's your kind of real take, I guess, after our kind of coming back from the trip and ruminating on AI and even using it in the office at work? How do you feel about AI?
Look, I can definitely see the benefits of using AI in our careers. To be honest, I haven't taken a massive step into using it, heavily. But I guess I'm one of those people that is probably just dipping their toes in the water at the moment. Really, I guess if we're talking about what I've been using it for in the studio specifically, I think it's great. So we model up everything in 3D model ArchiCAD, and we design everything from scratch, based on our concepts that we've developed. And sometimes, in these early conceptual stages, we'll show this 3D model which isn't completely resolved to the client just to get some initial feedback. And a lot of the time, they're staring at, walls that don't have beautiful light effects or texture, and they have trouble really kind of visualising it. And how I found, products like ChatGPT useful is that literally we can take a screenshot of this basic 3D model in ArchiCAD, put in some specific prompts, and it can actually produce a rendered image based on our 3D model that we've designed. So it adds things like, it might set the restaurant tables, it adds lighting effects, it just gives the finishes a bit more of a realistic texture. And we've found that the clients respond really well. They kind of like go, oh, yes, oh, okay, now I see. Because, we've still got our ArchiCAD 3D model right next to it, and then we'll bring up that render and say, look, this is our model, but this is, once we develop it a bit more, this is more what we're thinking. And they get it, and then, they're happy to move forward with things. So I think it's really useful without spending a lot of time on renders. Like, we still do that process once we've got the design locked in. We'll do proper renders for the client's marketing, that sort of thing. But to get like quick reassurance and help with some design decisions, ChatGPT rendering capabilities has been really useful in that way. Yeah.
And I think that's why we wanted to call the episode have prompt in there, because prompt is the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you're only as good as your prompt.
Yep.
But I guess one thing I think that I don't know if I'm quite ready to sort of let AI into my email inbox or have my credit card details and book flights and accommodation. I know that that's something that's just come about where you can literally just go, okay, I want to go to...
Give them your bank details and personal information.
I want to go to Sydney, pick me a really good hotel room with a view of the ocean or whatever it is. So, I guess it's just about finding your boundaries, making sure you've got all the security fail-safes in place.
Yep.
Even with ChatGPT, when you're uploading documents, make sure that you've watermarked your documents. Make sure that you don't have client information in there or anything IP information that can get leaked out, because I think unless there's a little checkbox that you tick that says this is to be shared or just private, if you're kind of asking questions, uploading like templates of your own schedules or things like that, all of that just feeds back into ChatGPT, which I guess recirculates around, and that's how it's growing its knowledge base. But you do want to make sure you protect yourself as a creative.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And I love the fact, I think you touched on it on the interview with Rhiannon. It was a good point when we caught up with one of our other interior design friends down in Melbourne for dinner. He's actually using AI to create original concept images for their projects. And I think that's, a really cool thing because, Pinterest has only got a certain number of images, and the amount of time that, you spend like trawling through to find the perfect image that represents this idea or concept or feeling or texture that you want to convey to the client, it just takes so much time sometimes.
It does. In saying that though, I was thinking about this the other day before this podcast, and I thought, I'm just going to actually Google, some sort of, I know I always say it, light on the water. It's like it must be my go-to. So I thought I'm just going to see what it comes up with at the moment. And it still does look computer generated. It doesn't have that realistic, organic look of someone who's taken a photograph of water. So I think, it is difficult, and sometimes, maybe you're better off just paying Getty Images to get a licensed photo, or there's iStock or any of those ones. But I think, there is merit in it. But I also like the idea of you can do like the standard kind of landscape ones. Like, you might not be able to find a particular photo of a flower or something that you're thinking of in your mind. But then you can really go crazy and sort of, with the prompts just go. And the other thing too that Rhiannon touched on in her talk, which we didn't include in the interview, was with the prompts, really kind of look up the describing way of how a photographer would describe their photos. So say, for instance, when you're putting the prompt in, make the photo look like it's in Vogue Living magazine, a lens,
using this
3.5
lens.
millimeter. I don't know what the actual, I'm just making it up right now. But, I'm not really prepared for this chat, am I? No, but like, I guess, before you sort of just throw a real vague prompt out there, the more refined your prompt is, the better the outcome.
Yeah, and you can describe even the styling. You want it to be very editorial styling, that sort of thing. So I guess what you're saying is the more specific you can be with your prompts, the better.
The better the outcome. Yeah. And that's not just in imagery, it's in everything, so. Yeah.
So I guess one of the downsides of, creating these renderings using AI is that they are popping up on Pinterest a lot, and, clients, they love Pinterest, they love searching for ideas themselves. And sometimes they'll come to you with these AI-generated images and they're beautiful, like beautiful designs. But in reality, we live on planet Earth and there's gravity and, you need a structural engineer. And a lot of the time these designs are just so impossible to actually physically build. And so you then have to go through the process with the client and saying, oh, well, yeah, we could do, something, along those lines, but, we can, that's not possible and that's going to be, cost millions and millions of dollars if you want to do that. And yeah.
I kind of do like the fact, though, that it pushes you a bit to kind of think outside the square, like when you're creating a prompt.
True.
And if you do use your imagination. And, I mean, I was mucking around ages ago because I love crystals and I had, create me an interior of a bar that's made out of all rose quartz crystals.
I love it.
Brass accents and like completely ridiculous. But it actually came up with some really cool concepts and I was like, oh. But then, once again, we were talking about this the other day about the creative process and how, if you do kind of release too much of that and you don't rely on your own imagination and your own creativity and you don't sketch anymore and you're just sort of relying on, I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and see what it can do. You're going to, over time, lose your little,
exactly.
bit of,
if you don't use that muscle, you will lose it. So you've got to make sure that you're keeping on using
and
that
I was
creative
saying,
brain.
like with one of my projects, I hadn't used Enscape, which is a 3D modelling rendering program, like an plug-in for Revit, so it'd been a couple of years and I was like, I'm just going to pay for it, And then I realised in the process of creating through Enscape and visualising it in real time how much better it was. And I was like, how have I been doing it without this,
Yeah.
But I actually got a real kick out of designing and seeing my ideas, sort of rendered in a realistic way instead of just putting like a bit of a rubbish model into ChatGPT. And then, so I think there's value in both. But I also think, if you can get your designs to a certain point and then you want to use ChatGPT to polish it or give you alternative options. Like I loved how you were saying about the paint options the other day.
Yeah.
You should share that.
Yeah, so we were just doing a quick exercise at work, testing different external paint colours for an existing building. And a lot of time, we'd probably do this in Photoshop, but, instead we were like, okay, well, let's test this out using ChatGPT, took a photo of the exterior, uploaded it, and then uploaded a series of Dulux colours that we'd had looked at using Fandex and say, okay, can you test it with this colour, this colour, this colour? And it just quickly, recoloured the building for us to be able to sort of consider different options, really quickly, rule out ones. And then, we were left with a few options there that we could then develop further and move forward. So, that saved a lot of time.
Good example.
Yeah,
it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though Photoshop's come a long way, it still takes time to sort of do the layers and this and that.
Yeah. So that was great.
Okay.
And I guess, as Rhiannon touched on with her conversation with you, the human element really is irreplaceable. And I think I probably agree that, the more AI that people start using, that more sort of crafted human element is going to be valued more and more. So I don't think we will ever lose that, hopefully.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the spark, and it's my turn this week.
Yeah.
So I thought because we spent quite a bit of time at Living Edge, and maybe before the spark, we might share our catch up with that we had with Todd.
Yes.
So we're just going to play that now quickly.
Yep.
So let's pop our headphones on, and this is a good lean into my muse, which is Ray and Charles Eames.
Great.
So this one here is the Maru sofa by Voltanol. So this is one of the newest releases from Milan a couple of years ago. So this particular piece can come in different modulations. If it's a little bit too large, we can shrink it down. If you don't want your amazing puddle of day bed, we can just do that to a normal 3-seater sofa there too, either with open-ended sides, or we can do it with a closed arm chase there too. Also comes in leather, which is really beautiful, particularly in something like an elan leather, which is a slight gloss to it. Also quite well protected as well as any liquids and spills fall onto it, it's not going to absorb the moisture, it's going to repel it there too with its special coatings. The other pieces we've got would be the Ashino collection from the lounge chair that we've got by Dei Bagazua. The Ashino coffee tables also take on that really nice organic shaping as well. It really translates through his whole collection of his releases and his designs. The rouging also within the leather sofa just gives it that little bit of a more casual look rather than too formal, so it's more just embracing that homely device as well within. Yeah. Other pieces like the Farnes sideboard over here. This piece is from the 1920s. It's a patent design. A lot of people are like, can I lift up the height of it? Can I expand it out? Can I change some dimensions? But typically for the patent design to exist, we need to just remain within its principles there too. So no changes, just to keep it the same way that it is as well. So it stays authentic to its origins there too. A really cool feature about this is that the hinges will go all the way around to a 180 eclipse. It will collect the glass together, and then it can be closed in on itself as well, just to give it that little bit of an extra sort of feature there too. The glass shelvings on the insides are extra accessories, so you can change those little bits and pieces. And of course, with extra electrification, there's lighting components that can be added to the interior. So if you want LED lighting added, electrics for maybe to be used as an entertainment unit, there's those types of additions that we can do to it too. So Walter Knoll has two manufacturing features. One typically is that they're made in Germany. Very talented craftspeople, particularly for things like the saddle leather chairs over here. It's only a select group of people that can do that type of leather work. Typically those chairs take about maybe 5 to 6 months to manufacture. But if people are after a shorter lead time with their production needs, then there are certain collections from Walter Knoll that we can procure. Like the Andu chair over here. And this can come in a high and a low back. It can come with the ottoman or without. You can kind of assemble it in different ways. But a lead time for something like that, typically if we have the frames, would be around 10 to 12 weeks as well.
Have you got something that you personally
that I love?
Yeah, what's on your shopping list?
Well, one that I already own.
Oh!
Well, I love, the famous architect, Frank Gehry, launched this collection back in the 1970s. It's called the Wiggle Stool. So where a famous architect is making these really obscure designs in building design, it's also made these really wacky furniture pieces. But as far as they're made of like cardboard, which gives this semiotic of maybe something that's fragile or just like not really practical for furniture.
Me? Okay, I'm being told to sit on the chair.
Go for it. Give it a
Okay.
But they actually are quite robust. And just with
it's
the
pretty
spring
comfortable.
form as well,
Yeah.
it gives it just a little bit of a bit of give in the side.
I do know that you said that don't treat the furniture like sculptures, but I think this one here.
Do you have the chair or do you have the...
I've got the stool, but I use this as a bedside table, so like the wiggle feature.
I
at the
love
front.
that.
Just be careful not to put any water vessels, plants that will overflow if you water them too much, because it still is cardboard at the end of the day. And probably not cat friendly as well if they're trying to actually get through things there too. But I think the furniture that we sell is not just something of essential beauty, which is just purely about aesthetics. It's about creating conversation. Like these things have semantics about them that are really quite interesting. They've got histories, they've got stories. So when people walk into spaces that have living edge pieces in them, they're like, what is that? There's one piece in particular that we sold that gets a lot of interest around it. And it's just up the stairwell here too. Look. Sure you've seen the cactus before?
Oh, yes. Jill loves the cactus. On the shopping list, Jill.
It's the 1970s, Draco Mello designed the first cactus. And so it's out of material called Guflac. So Gufram are the manufacturers of these particular pieces. The original one came in a green, so it kind of gave off the same look as a cactus, but after a while they're like, oh, let's just try something a little bit different. So then they've done different variations like the off-white that we see here. there's different ones where Paul Smith has been involved in a collaboration with Guthrum, and then he's done his iconic coloured stripes. There's also the sunrise one that he has done as well. A few other ones that have been completely coated in black to give an oil slick look. But the whole idea around it is this, I think like a semiotic inversion of what a cactus really is. You think of a cactus in the wild, which is thorny and has a presence of being a threat. These ones have kind of like this opposing sort of feel. You want to go up there and feel it. What's it made of? It looks porcelain, but when you get up there, it's actually made of some like rubbery sort of substance as well. Cactuses are always made to about 170 centimeters high, but we do sell little Guthrum mini versions of them as well. So if people just want a cactus so they don't hurt the room for a big one, you can get just the smaller versions. We have a little collection, I think, further around the store as well.
Okay. Oh, okay. What colour, lilac or orange?
So Magus, their iconic logo, which is the puppy dog. These ones are made of polyprops, so you can also get them coated in a velvet, give them a different sense of tactility. But you can get them to the size where they're sculptural as big as about 1.2 meters high, and so they can be kind of used as a rocking horse type of toy for a child. Yeah, but even just as themselves, just a little sculpture of a bit of burst of colour to come into the room. Muto, a lot of our more kind of apartment lifestyle type of furniture, but they're really pushing the boundaries of what they've typically done in the past, which whenever I think of Scandinavian design, because they're from Denmark, I think of just these types of plywood features and beige types of furnitures. But if you walk into here, this is kind of the transformation that they're starting to make. So engaging with different colours and textiles and playing on that different inversion of colours that aren't typically seen together as well. So
is that a very light blue? It's hard to tell.
Sky blue,
very, very soft
one.
sky blue.
But a really interesting kind of like terry towel-y sort of texture on the material there too. Very hard wearing. Originally this was more of a commercial release, this modular sofa called the Connect. But over time people were inquiring it for residential use, and so they softened down the material in order to make it more suitable for residential homes. They've also just started to do a kink model, so if you want to have it kind of go in a circular form, you can embrace these different corner modules to give it a bit of a different silhouette.
It's really pretty. It almost reminds me of a cloud.
Yeah.
You know, like just the soft marshmallow vibe.
Kind of look as well. When you sit into it as well, you really do sink into it there too. The little cloud sculptures, again by Magus as well. They have quite a few collections of their sculptures made from this type of chicken wire meshing. So there's even like floating fish that you can get alongside these types of clouds there too. We've got the Vasily chair, which is an iconic Marcel Breuer chair. From the 1920s. So if you think of typical Bauhaus furniture that was being designed around that time, then this is the most iconic piece, I think. Very structural. There's a lot of here and there about whether it's comfortable or whether it's not. I find it really quite comfortable and sculptural at the same time, but again, not for everyone.
I actually prefer the tan over the black.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the tan before.
I think again it's that contemporary lease on a new, like an old product to bring it into a new light. So Noel is playing around with Arielle's so different powder coats on the metal forms. So there's a new finish that you can get called an ultra matte red. And then you can get like a burgundy leather belting as well. So then it looks really beautiful, and it brings the chair into a new light.
Do you find the gloss is like more popular or the matte in these stone finishes, or is it sort of 50-50?
I think it was matte before, but there's a whole turnaround in what's being specified towards more glossy features. So particularly what we saw coming out of Milan just recently, there is more of a projection of glossy material coming back into fashion. So it's I think you'll see that key change like happening quite soon in the design scene, very, very, very soon.
Is that the same with satin versus shiny finishes on metals?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
True. I think that the satin finishes on metals will still be current. I think it will still be a thing, but for feature articles, more shine, more gloss, as well as coming back into interiors from what I've seen. I could be wrong, each their own.
Hey, I mean, I'm up for it. Like, I love the shiny sort of glossy finishes. I think it's been nice, but those velvet satin finishes have had their moment.
We've got a round table of different designers from Saarinen to Vies van der Rohe. You've got the Cheska chair as well. But all is represented and manufactured by Knoll, and they have the patents. But the chairs actually hold so well together as well. Icons of their times, all from different types of areas. Some more kind of like mid-century times, some more towards the the Bauhaus area there too. But really, really beautifully crafted and made, but also that like contemporary sense towards what you can do with the chairs themselves. Like the Cheska chair here, which was one of the first cantilever chairs designed and manufactured. It typically comes with a chrome finish detail, but like what I was saying with the Vasily chair, you can have it powder coated into these different forms to give it a different look. The melt pendant that we see here, it started as a concept for the Sydney Opera House. The restaurant underneath has heritage listed components to the absolute bones of the joint, so they couldn't touch any of the ceiling to do any canopies for a pendant that would fall down and burst out. So instead he inverted it and had the light canopies situated on the floor and stemming out and then starbursting out from there. So this is where the melt was first conceptualized and used and manufactured and placed. And afterwards, then he thought about how can we make this for more of a residential commercial application. So that's where the pendants came out. They only come in the two sizes, so the mini and the large. The mini will be 28 centimeters in diameter. The large will be 50. And they also come in about 4 different colors as well. So you've got the gold, which you see here. There's a smoke, which is like an indigo color, a chrome silver, and then you've got the copper. A new release, which is coming out soon, is a bronze color. So there's a new kind of like, if this is a little bit too orange, I believe that there's more of a brown sort of tone coming through with the bronze.
When this is off its gold, isn't it?
Yeah,
because I wanted to put this in a project, and it's so beautiful, and the silver as well. It's that chrome.
The chrome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So you kind of think about it the way like your Ray-Ban sunglasses have that reflective material on the surface. This kind of works in the same way. So when you turn it off, it turns into a mirror ball. But once you put a light inside it, then you see through the metal film on the inside, and then it reflects all the mirroring of the light from the inside out.
Ray and Charles Eames have always been a couple that's really inspired me, and I think a lot of people. When I was at uni, they obviously talked a lot about them as a design duo. They were quite young when they met. They met in college, and then from there they just became this powerhouse couple that just designed everything from furniture to toys even. You know, they did toys, but obviously like beautiful architecture and interior design. And I loved that they sort of used their house as a case study, and they basically blurred the lines of inside and out. And one of my favourite things that they did, which I want to do one day, is they actually suspended artwork from the ceiling so that they could lie down on the floor and look up at it, you know. Yeah. And I just think that's just a classic insight into how they thought outside of the box, just on every front, you know. But
turning things on its head.
On its head. Yeah. But they married in 1941. They moved to LA, where wartime experiments with moulded plywood for the aircraft parts led to their furniture breakthrough. So they then founded the Eames office. It was a part workshop, part think tank, where design, film, graphics and architecture collided. So yeah, if you're listening, some of you may have never heard of them. Some of that you may even own one of their beautiful Eames chairs.
Or if you haven't heard of them, I'm sure you recognise their chairs because they're so iconic.
So iconic. And yeah, so we Living Edge are one of the suppliers of Eames here in Australia, and they've just actually celebrated 25 years Living Edge. And they hosted the grandson of Ray and Charles Eames. He flew out from America just recently.
okay.
So it's a brand that's not going anywhere. You know, it's timeless, it's endured, and it really is just a beautiful piece of modest architecture in the form of furniture and lighting. Yeah.
No, I love their style. Yeah.
Do you have a favourite?
I do love the plywood chair. I think it's I can't remember exactly the name of it though.
It's just the moulded plywood chair.
Yeah. The lounger
Time
chair.
magazine called it the chair of the century.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you know the Eiffel-based plastic chairs? You see a lot of the knockoffs in replica furniture and, the moulded plastic and everything like that.
Yeah.
It was the first mass-produced plastic chair that was stackable.
Oh, okay.
So, they're really front thinkers, and they really sort of set the tone for a lot of emerging designers coming after them.
Yeah.
So that's my little tidbit today.
Yeah, great. No, that's awesome. Thanks, Ari. So for our next segment, we're going to have a bit of fun here with some AI prompting, and it's going to be a bit of some playful mini games. So pretty much the prompt that we're putting into ChatGPT is exactly this. Please create a funny interior design flashcard game for two friends to play together. Quickfire answers based on what is shown on the card. 5 cards each. Okay.
All right, so we have no idea what questions, so
we're leaving this segment up
see.
to AI, so if it's a massive fail, don't blame us.
Quickfire Design Duel, a cheeky little flashcard game for two design-savvy friends who want to test their interior designer instincts and wit. It's literally created a whole game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got players 2, objective, be the fastest and funniest to answer or react to what's on the card. Okay.
So it's got a bit of a Cards Against Humanity feel.
That's what
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Hoping. Well, not the X-rated version. Okay, so each player has 5 cards. Take turns flipping a card. The other player has 5 seconds to answer the prompt, no hesitation. Wrong, boring, or over-serious answers lose a point.
Oh, okay.
Bonus points for making your friend laugh so hard they snort. Okay. So I'm giving you a card. It's got an image of a room with 8 clashing patterns.
Oh, okay.
Okay, name this aesthetic in one word.
So mix a lot. Okay. Yeah. Is that a good one?
Coming in an upholstery. Fabric series. All right.
That was still one word. It was hyphenated, so mix a lot. Yeah. Okay. So I'm handing you a card. All right. You've got $200 on a Saturday. What DIY disaster are you about to start? And the image is...
No, that's a different question. My card's just that.
Oh, okay.
$200 on a Saturday, DIY disaster.
Are you about to start?
My first thought went to just going to Bunnings, getting some grout, and then finding all these random tiles and just doing a mosaic coffee table.
Oh, fun.
But I'm not making you laugh though with my answer.
But it's interesting.
Maybe I could do a big seafood table with a big lobster and then inlays
Mosaic
for
lobster.
Oyster bowls or something like that.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yep.
Okay.
I like it. Okay.
All right, your turn. The image is a chaotic beige living room. The prompt, fix it with one item.
Oh, God. Oh, one item. I'm going to say a cobalt blue high gloss dining table.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
That's tough.
That
one
would look
item.
Good. That would look really good.
Okay.
Oh.
So you've just got text on your card. Describe your most toxic design trait.
Oh, yeah.
Toxic design trait.
Buying like over the top ridiculous garments. It's pretty toxic. You should have seen-
Animal print.
Yeah, it's fake. It's fake.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good
your
one.
Turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Image: a maximalist powder room full of leopard print.
Speaking of animal print, love it, love it.
Okay, the prompt is pitch it to Vogue Living like it's intentional.
Hey, wow. It's cougar season.
Yeah.
No, I find leopard print is one of those sort of timeless, or any animal print. Like if you don't overdo it, just ignore this current example. But if you don't overdo animal print, like I think it really is. It stems from nature. It's a timeless pattern.
It depends what kind of animal.
Yeah. There's lots of different. Yeah, I get it. Cow print isn't one of the best animal prints out there. Not the Jersey cow, but
Snake
the one.
skin, I'm not sure.
Really?
I mean, I did see some cool kind of snakeskin jean kind of. It sounds wild.
I love snakeskin shoes and handbags.
Not
They're
real
really
snakeskin,
cool.
though, is it?
I did used to own a pair of cowboy boots that I bought in Austin that had a bit of snakeskin on them. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure that there were no, the snake it died of old age. So no snakes were harmed in the process.
Okay.
Oh, did I pitch it well?
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to go out and order myself something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Your client wants Hamptons meets cyberpunk. Describe the concept board.
Cyberpunk. Ooh, what's cyberpunk? Okay, I'm thinking like punk. I'm thinking like, Sid Vicious safety clips. So I'm thinking like a couch where the fabric seams are done with safety clips, and that's kind of a bit punkish. I'm going to team that with some beautiful, Hampton style cornicing details, maybe some beautiful, like retractable sliding doors, that opens up the ocean view.
What about the cyber?
The cyber, ChatGPT, I'll just, maybe I'll install some technology system where it can just be like voice activated AI prompting facility within the house.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. But you did so good.
Yeah.
I don't know who won. Bonus round.
Okay.
Lightning design debate. Oh, okay, here we go. Shiplap, timeless or tired?
Timeless.
Yeah, I think timeless. Statement lighting or statement sofa?
Statement lighting.
Is beige back or has it been lurking in the shadows all along?
Beige has been back and
Yeah.
it's about to leave.
Yeah, leave the
Should have
building.
left years ago. It's one of those house guests that just don't know when to leave. And you're like packing up around them and you're like, oh, yep, bottles clanging and they're just still chatting away.
Yeah.
It's like,
I feel like even when you shop for clothes, everything's very beige and neutral.
yeah.
And I'm all for the whole capsule wardrobe idea
Yes.
where you have, it's built on neutral clothes.
Yeah.
But then bring back
It's
the
versatile.
personality.
Yeah.
Bring back the colour and the sort of interesting patterns.
Yeah.
And
Like I love white linen. Like it has its place. I do. Like I wear it, quite a bit. But then you got to mix it up.
Yeah.
Life's too short to live in beige.
That's right. Beige boat pants.
Cool.
that
Okay.
was
Well,
fun.
not bad. ChatGPT. We'll we might give you a second go. You might survive another date. Who knows?
That's it.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
All right. So
well.
for the next segment,
It's the goodbye segment.
it's the sweet bite. No, my sweet bite.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I was almost going to jump past that
All right.
one.
I'll
We
just bring
can't,
up-
can we? Because we both love this sweet bite.
Yeah. So for my sweet bite this week, I am serving up something beautifully Australian and a little bit nostalgic. the new rock collection from Dinosaur Designs. So Dinosaur Designs, they are celebrating 40 years of colour, craft that is instantly recognisable. And we're both wearing our little Dinosaur Design bangles. Yeah. We're massive fans of the brand, of their jewellery and their homewares. We have been for many years. So, yeah, as I said, they're celebrating 40 years of being around. And the brand was originally created by Louise Olson and Stephen Ormandy. They have always typically used nature as their muse. And so this rock collection draws directly on geological formations, rocks, minerals, erosion, which echoes the brand's long love affair with the natural world. They also draw on elemental beauty, so the pieces feel sculptural, fragmented, like fragments from the earth, fluid. So they've got those beautiful sort of formations about them as well. And I love the fact that, they've stayed true to themselves in the fact that every object is still hand-poured. So it's all made out of resin and all made in their Sydney studio. And it's a reminder to us all that craftsmanship is timeless. All right, so that is another date done. Eat, Pray, Prompt in all its flavours. From Melbourne's moody dining rooms to the bright lights of Heartbreaker and right through to the brave new world of AI design.
Yeah, I feel like this one really summed up what creativity looks like right now. It's a mix of old school craft, artisan work, digital curiosity and a good dose of caffeine or ramen.
Oh my God, I'm still having dreams about that ramen.
Yeah.
Exactly, like whether it's like perfect marble arch or the perfect prompt, it's all about knowing how to shape an idea and make it feel human.
Yeah, so the tools evolve, the instinct really is the thing that stays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if today something sparked for you, maybe a new design idea or a craving of a Aperol Spritz, hit us up at adatewithdesign_AU on Instagram.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks.